So welcome to Chimp on Cars. Today we're looking at the BMW 520. We've got a warning message up on the dashboard. It's basically saying that the emergency call system is not available. That's what that is there's a battery. So when we have, if we were to have an accident with the car, there's an emergency call system in the car, but if we have an accident that sets off the airbags, it's likely to disconnect the battery to reduce the fire risk. So there's a battery that will power the emergency call system. Now, when that rechargeable battery starts to lose some of its power, that's when this message comes up on the dashboard that the emergency call system is not available. So it basically means I can make an emergency call now, but in the event of a crash, then maybe I wouldn't be able to. So there's a little battery. We've got one here. Got this from BMW. You can get them in other places too. And basically this is what we need to replace. There's one in the car. You'd imagine it will be at the front where the emergency call system is, but it's actually in the back of the car. It's actually underneath this fin here. We've got a fin for the aerial, and we've got the brake light. There's a little panel just underneath there, and that's where it is inside the car. So let's jump inside the car and I'll show you where to find it, and we'll get ours replaced. Right then, so we're in the back seat of the car. Now we've got a panel up here on the roof, so we need to remove this, and it's basically held on with normal clips, just push in ones. So you're going to start getting it off. The first one is the trickiest, and all we're doing is just pulling it straight down, and then we can see the clips. So there's 5 of them in total, 2 on each side, 1 in the centre. So with that out of the way, we can now see up inside here. So the battery is actually located right in an inaccessible place here. So let me show you how to get the old battery out first of all. Right then, so looking up inside here, we can see the holder. Now can you see there's a clipped holder here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a screwdriver in here. In fact, it might come down with just my fingers. Let me try. Now I'm going to get a screwdriver in there. I'm just going to bring that carrier down, and the battery is just underneath there. So we'll look at how the battery comes out of here, the orientation of it, and then we can slide the new battery back in where that one came from. Right then, so there we go. So I've started it off with a screwdriver. So now you can just bring that down. You can see the battery in there. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pull the headline in away and use both fingers either side of that battery just to slide the old one out, and then I'll just slide the new one in where that came from. Right then, so that's the battery there that we've taken out. I've just popped the new one in, and basically it just slides in on that orientation there. So that's the top, that's the bottom, but we're basically just putting the new one in the way the old one came out, and then that little carrier just pops back up, easily done. And then we just pop this cover back on. So I'll get it all done back up with just a few pushes here. Goes back on much easier than it came out. So basically I will now turn the ignition on, but the emergency call system notification is still going to show up on the dashboard because that battery up there is probably not fully charged. So it will only charge on a long journey. So I've found that with this one, the old one, if we go on a nice long drive, you know, a couple of hours drive, then this one does actually hold enough charge for that warning light to disappear for a few hours or even a day. But it soon comes back, and the colder the weather, the quicker it comes back, because batteries don't perform so well in colder weather, do they? So in the summertime it was on less, in the winter time it's virtually on every day. So that's why we've replaced it, just because it's annoying and it covers up a bit of the dashboard, which we don't want to have covered up all the time. So the new one's in there now, so we'll do a couple of longer drives over the next few days. The warning will disappear and it'll all be good. So if you like what you've seen here, there's an option to buy us a coffee. The link's on the screen. And of course, subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more tips on driving, as well as some DIY bits for the car.